We live in a world where people who are born today will have their entire lives recorded. From birth until death, their lives are on display, curated by humans, captured by machines, and accessible by algorithms. This helps quantify the enormous amount of data that is being recorded, collected, cleaned, and analyzed every day. And the companies that record, collect, clean, and analyze that data need leaders who understand how to make better, more responsible decisions. They need educators who will teach them about authenticity and accountability in decision-making and business practices. But as we've seen more and more, companies get into hot water with data. I see another trend on the horizon, a need for data ethics, especially in business education. As Dean of the Fox School of Business, I want to make sure that students learn that with great power comes great responsibility. And with a trove of data at their fingertips, that power is greater than ever. When I started my career 40 years ago, decisions were, more often than not, made in gut instincts. And those instincts are valuable. Gut instincts have built Fortune 500 companies and disrupted entire industries. But today, data and the artificial intelligence platforms that can analyze it are the keys to better decision making. Data leads to more informed decisions, more efficient and productive choices, from workforces to products. I think about how data-driven decisions can impact the things that I care about. As an environmentalist, I want executives in the auto industry to make cars that would reduce my gas consumption. I want the innovators in the HVAC industry to ensure more efficient heating and cooling systems. I want the agrochemicals industry to find alternatives to bee-killing pesticides. I want future business leaders to use data to make an impact, not to tell stories about themselves and their companies that they only wish were true. Tomorrow's business leaders are in our business schools today. They are well on their way to becoming data-driven decision makers. And as an educator, I feel compelled to press upon them the importance of responsibility and accountability for the decisions they make and how they lead. Today's students must be data comfortable. These future business leaders must know how to analyze and interpret data, identify failings and pitfalls, and understand the assumptions that can and cannot be made based on the reliability of the data set. Most business schools today understand that. We are adjusting our curriculums to reflect this new reality because we know that our students must be prepared for the fields that exist both in 5 years and in 15 years. As we're making these investments in data analytics, we must also prepare our students to be data responsible. We need to teach them to understand the ethical and integral consequences of their decisions. We need them to know that changing their name from Facebook to Meta won't make their problems disappear. Industry leaders have incredible power, and they have access to enormous quantities of data. We've seen what happens when CEOs refuse to acknowledge their role in creating a divisive culture. We've also seen what happens when executives make ethically and socially responsible decisions. To prepare them, we must educate students about the impact their decisions will have. We must teach them that data sets are great tools for effective decision making. But data can't replace real people who are flawed and vulnerable, creative and intuitive. The future will require executives to have an aptitude for data analysis and critical thinking, but it also requires them to inspire and lead others by demonstrating they commit to, uphold, and enact a set of values. And that means knowing that data is just more than a set of numbers. Data ethics is remembering that behind those data sets are real people.